when we think of Affordable Care Act compliance management, we really think of these three important buckets. So number one, it's important to have appropriate regulatory knowledge throughout the organization. So in terms of the awareness, being aware of the various regulations and notices that are issued. New notices are issued from time to time. And so it's very important to have either individuals internally within the organization that are monitoring those, or be working with a vendor that is doing that for you, to be aware of what's going on, and then also ensuring that that knowledge is being disseminated throughout the organization to the various stakeholders involved with Affordable Care Act compliance. We see deficiencies when working with clients around the interpretation and the implementation of that regulatory knowledge. So as an example, we rarely see employers correctly interpret the look-back measurement method and apply it. And even for those that do, let's say their interpretation of the regulatory knowledge is adequate, we see gaps in the implementation on an ongoing basis. So number one is regulatory knowledge. Number two is this idea of documentation and record keeping, having strong internal controls and process in place to ensure that as you are going through the year, you're actually not just doing what you're supposed to be doing, but documenting that, such that in the event of a regulatory inquiry or audit by the IRS, you are able to substantiate that you've been doing what you say you've been doing. So we see many employers that receive notices from the IRS, and it's clear from a certain perspective that they've been in compliance, but because they failed to keep proper documentation around that, it's very difficult to just tell the IRS, oh, I've been doing what I say I'm doing, and just trust me at my word. So it's very important to have strong documentation and record keeping to be ready for an audit. And then the third piece is this idea of data quality management. And this is one that we really don't see much attention given to. Data quality management around the Affordable Care Act is so critical because of the simple fact that any analytic outputs are only as good as the raw data that's feeding those calculations.